Good morning, good morning. Wednesday, 20th of February 2019. I always have to check on a calendar somewhere. I don't know what day it is. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not breakfast. That's tea. That's the products of all of the tea bags that I've used for a few days. And you may wonder why it's sort of nicely kept like that. Let me show you. Well, it's a misty day today, very misty, and this ground is going to be a beautiful vegetable garden and a beautiful flower garden and a beautiful orchard. It is. Maybe not this week, but one of the things that I'm blessed with, my neighbours tell me that this soil is very, very fertile, but what it most certainly is heavy clay. And look at that, onions. And what this soil needs is improving. Now, I could go and I could buy soil improver at sort of £1,000,000 a bag or whatever it is, or I needn't. What's going in here is a certain amount of stuff, free stuff. Tea leaves, good organic material, sawdust. Have to be a little bit careful with the sawdust. Can only be if it's straightforward wood, and I'm a little bit nervous about sawdust from oak. Something in the back of my mind reminds me that oak trees manage to do something that stops weeds and other things growing underneath them. But you know, it all gets mixed in and chopped about, and yeah, tea leaves. When I was a small child, very small child, when we made tea in teapots, it used to be my job. You know, I was working from the age of about 18 months, I suppose. It was my job to take the teapot out into the garden and to swish it around and to tip it on the ground, preferably without getting tea and tea leaves all over my hands and trouser legs and such likes. But there we are. Misty sort of day. Can just about see the top of the chateau through the mist, but a promise of beautiful weather today. And at various spots around the garden I've just put bits of broken tile, and as I'm digging these beds, where I find what we might think of as archaeology or artefacts, I sort of put them to one side. Sadly, I haven't found anything of value, but you know, what is that? The neck of a medicine bottle, neck of a perfume bottle possibly. Little piece of, who knows, a cup, a plate, a saucer. I know what that is. It's a piece of a French electrical socket. Yeah. As I say, I've not found anything fantastic or you know, really interesting. And it sort of goes through your head, you know, what are these things doing out here in the garden? You know, why is there bits of broken bottle and such likes? But that's what those odd little tiles are all about. I've got a bigger collection. Still nothing exotic, nothing fantastic. But all of these funny little bits came out of the garden. Yeah. you know, why is there the plate out of a mincer in the garden? I don't know. That one could be a bit interesting, couldn't it? It's part of a handle off a big earthenware something. That one's a little troubling. You know, I don't know what that is. It's a centerfire rifle cartridge. It's about the size for a 303, possibly. Ought to measure it, I suppose. But there we are. Oh, that one was that was a bit gruesome when I found that one. Oh, you know, a little face. A large chunk of this job is looking at it, working out what you've got and what you need to be doing. These are the shutters that go across over the front door. Now, I thought that they were metal. I don't know why I thought that, apart from, you know, they got metal hinges, but they're not. They are wooden, and they're actually in pretty good shape, except of course they need sanding down and painting. But again, it's, you know, it's a bifold shutter. I do wonder if they'll lift off and go on the bench. Not sure. No, they're not that sort of hinge. Some of the hinges that are used on this job you can simply lift, and things come apart and make it so much easier to work. But no, they don't look like that sort of hinge. But yeah, that will keep me busy for a while. Well, I sort of thought while I've got the weather I'd get violent with these and see how much of that awful paint I can get off it. Dusty old job, so I'm going to stop for a cup of tea. Well, this is one of those many of little life's mysteries. These shutters, you saw the state of the paint on them, and it was all loose and flaky. So I went over it with an ordinary brush, and the flaky bits sort of came off. But the bits that weren't flaky, oh dear, I've had to get really violent with those. And I'm sort of a bit worried about the time. I think I really need to brush it down and get some primer on the bare wood that I've done to give it a chance to dry before before it cools down too much. But yeah, the paint that was sticking was really sticking. So there we are. That is progress. I'm sort of pleased with it, but I would have liked a little bit more progress. Well, there we are. That's a coat of undercoat. I shouldn't call it undercoat, should I? Because this is supposed to be a French lesson, so we'll call it sous-couche for plaster, cement and wood. Apparently it masks imperfections. That will be good, wouldn't it? There we are. Right. Time to light the fire and cook, I think. Now, Rusty Glovebox showed us some wonderful birds in his garden, and it's that time of year here that birds are starting to think about where they're going to live. These, of course, are house sparrows. And that one's sort of imitating a baby, but it's not a baby. I guess it's trying to find someone to build a house with. Well, where are we? Marlene is helping me make it through the night. Marlene cooked me potatoes and carrots and onion and chicken and gravy, and she's just made me a cup of tea, for which I'm very grateful. She's great company. It's been a good day today. I've made visible progress. Upstairs I've carried on with that job. I did do a little bit, not a lot, a little bit in the garden because the weather today has been glorious, and you've seen the progress with the shutters on that window just there. That was comical. The red paint had peeled and cracked and it was horrible, and I used an ordinary floor brush on it. I took doof, and showers of little bits of red paint came off, and it left an awful lot of red paint still on. And you sort of hope that where it's as bad as that, you hope that if you threaten it with a scraper, it's going to explode and all come off. No, it didn't. I was using the sort of abrasives that you use for de-rusting and all sorts. Took a lot of elbow grease to get one piece cleaned down, and it's now got a coat of undercoat on it, Sous-Couche. Yeah, best part of an afternoon's work that, which is a little bit troubling because I've got another 3 panels to do like that, and then when I look at the other side, the paint on the other side is in good condition, and it's going to take a lot more attacking to get it to a state to paint it. Oh, excuse me. But it's been a satisfying day, and you know, I shall edit this, I shall press all the buttons on the computer thingy, and then I shall go to bed. Looking forward to tomorrow. Apparently the weather's going to be even slightly nicer. Tomorrow is going to start with a trip to the shops because I need food for tomorrow. I need fish for Friday. Incidentally, the supermarket I use on a Monday, there's no fish. Rien de poisson. On a Thursday, on the other hand, they seem to have their best fish display. I don't know if that's because we all eat fish on a Friday and we all buy it on a Thursday. I don't know, but they do have a wonderful fish display. So there we are. That's looking ahead, and yeah, been a good day.